Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead for them and their companies. I'm your host, Ammar Elm, and in each episode, we uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by Blas Giffuni, co-founder and CEO of Navigamo, a cutting-edge consulting firm focusing on empowering early-stage SaaS and technology companies to accelerate growth through strategic go-to-market guidance, operational optimization, and founder-led sales enablement. Blas brings a strong background in B2B startup acceleration, investor engagement, and revenue architecture. Blas, welcome to Founders Future.
Hey, Mark, how are you? Happy to be here.
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Perfectly.
Awesome. I'm excited to dive in. I always like to start from the beginning. So take us back to before you started Navigamo. What were you doing before? And then what was really the motivation behind starting the company?
Sure. Let me take you actually a step even earlier than that. And the reason why I want to do this because basically my startup started with SEO as a main service and SEO consulting as a service. However, the way I got to it was by owning a flower shop.
Okay.
Back when I got here to the US, of course, we need to find a way to live. We decided to start a business. And we opened a flower shop, and it was very clear that I would not be able to maintain the business just by foot traffic. So back then, and we're talking about 2003,
Yep.
I was like, we need to sell online. How do I do it? At that moment, Yahoo was the search engine to be in.
Yeah.
And so basically, little by little, started to test and do from email marketing, event creation, and all of that, all the way to SEO without even owning my own website. And little by little, I started to get some traction
Okay.
to the point that other businesses started to ask me, how are you doing this?
Mm,
And that kind of opened the door of, you know what? Even though I like the flower shop type of business, there is a lot of moving parts. Working with perishables is super hard.
yeah.
And little by little, started to move into helping other small businesses to grow.
Yeah.
Then that was my first stage of entrepreneurship. And 60% of my clientele, they were in the real estate business. And 2008 happened, real estate bubble burst. I burst with it and got the opportunity to work with a super interesting company that basically they offer a critical process, which is translated websites from any language to any language. And I was in charge of making sure that their clients were getting traffic and conversion.
Okay.
So what that allowed me to do was to have visibility into what major organizations, and I'm talking Fortune 100 and global companies, how they manage their digital presence using their website.
Got it.
So I stayed there for 10 years. It started to not be that fun. Once you're 10 years
Yep.
in the same niche, you start to know
Of
all the
course.
answers and okay, where is the motion and the passion? And I jump into okay, let's go back into consulting, SEO consulting. And then by just the pure definition and acceleration of the business, I had to bring other great people that work with me into the conversation. And that's how basically Navigamo started,
Yeah.
by bringing all the people that work with me into the conversation.
Okay. Interesting. Expand to us or expand on that a little bit further. Just to give the listeners more context into what Navigamo focuses on. So maybe who is your ideal customer, and then what are the different offers and services that you provide in that company?
Sure. So what we do at Navigamo is that we help, and that goes with the name, it helps navigate the digital waters. So that
Okay.
sounds so poetic and everything, but what happens is right now we're in the middle of AI, and everybody's like AI this, AI that, and AI everything.
Yep.
And however, companies are just jumping from not knowing anything about digital. And I'm not talking social media. I'm talking about digital transformation, even though it's a term that it's been overly used. There are companies that are still doing things in paper per se. And they want to jump already into AI without knowing the foundation, the basics, and not even being ready to
Yep.
jump into that. So that's what we do. We help companies. basically startups. And then also it's interesting because we go from startups all the way to global companies, because sometimes those global companies, they have the same problems. But
Got it.
because they're so big, they cannot move at the speed of a startup. And they need a startup mindset to be able to move at that speed.
Yeah, it's just a lot of pure bureaucracy and just stuff that takes forever for no reason. That makes perfect sense. Now, it sounds like the ideal customer is startups all the way to global companies. Is there a specific industry that you like to focus on?
Yeah, definitely B2B. And the reason why I go with B2B, so B2B industrial, it's key for us for many reasons. One, is what keeps the economy going. Number one. Number two, these are companies that excel at what they do,
Okay.
but because they excel at what they do, they sell just because they live, and they're really good at what they do. And sometimes it's difficult for them to explain why they do, why they're better. It's not unknown that you will see a very good company with very poor digital experience.
Yeah, 100%. It makes sense that the industrial capacity could be a little bit behind in terms of the digital world, and they need somebody like you to come in and help them out. I'm curious, what would you say your core offering or core offerings are? So if somebody's listening to this, how do you help companies specifically?
Okay. Specifically, it goes by helping our clients understand what they do, basically their value proposition, which is what they do, why they're better, someone should be working with them. And then what we do, we help them understand who their audiences are
Okay.
and basically how they need to be approached.
Mm,
The and basically what we do, and this sounds again very classical to me, the website is the foundation and the core, the center of the communication strategy.
yeah.
So we have a really strong focus, or we pay a lot of attention to the website.
Okay.
And the reason being is because, think about this, but late last year, TikTok was going to be banned in the US.
Yeah.
So if your full strategy was based on TikTok, you're gone.
Yeah.
AI came over and started to move things around for in Google. If companies that don't have a strong website, they're gonna see even less traffic that they were seeing before coming from Google.
Yeah. Because it's AI search now or moving towards that.
And even if you say, oh, I have a really strong email database and I can email them all the time, you don't know if you're gonna be blocked or if someone decided to run a bad campaign and your server got blocked as a spam.
Yeah.
So quite honestly, the website is the only digital asset that you have where you control your whole conversation.
Got
That's
it.
what we do.
Got it. So you help them with establish a strong website, establish their UVP, their unique selling proposition or unique value proposition, and then really who their ideal customer is and how to best approach them. So
Yes.
let's talk about a typical client engagement. Let's say we sign on, somebody's listening to this and they're like, okay, cool, Blast, let's partner up. What does that look like? Is it just a one-time project that you're working on with me on, or is it a monthly retainer? What does that look like?
It is a monthly retainer.
Got it.
And basically it is like that because our website it's like a child. Unfortunately, everybody's great, I have my website, I'm done. No, you just launch a website. Now the real work begins.
Yeah.
And that's something that many people forget.
Yeah. It's an ever evolving thing. It doesn't just a one and done. Okay. I'm curious. So let's shift a little bit to the back end of the business. When it comes to customer acquisition and bringing in more clients for your company, Navigamo, how are you generating your leads? What does that look like?
Okay. So we are a boutique organization. So even though we have operations in the US and in Colombia, because of the type of work that we do, it's not that I'm looking to get 300 clients at a time. So we go mostly by two things. Referrals. I know that we talk a lot about digital and everything else, and you can accomplish all of this with digital. Referrals, they're always the top for us.
Okay.
Why? Because we care about our clients. So for them, it's not difficult to refer us.
Yep.
Currently, we are building on a way of building partnerships with platforms. So many platforms are out there that are really good. However, the worst the worst technology that you can use is the one that you don't use. So you're paying for a service or a platform that it could be amazing, but if no one is using it, you're just wasting money.
Yeah.
So we partner with those platforms, the ones that we trust that they work,
Got it.
as a way to have a solid solution for our customers.
Yep.
Number two, we're working heavily on content production, especially in Colombia. We have basically an interview program that runs every week. It's called Metas en mi cabeza, and it talks about everything about AI.
Got it.
So that's one way of doing it. Here in the US, we are starting to probably by the time that this launches, we will already launch our new platform, which facilitates the creation of AI agents for anyone in an organization.
Wow. Is that like a SaaS platform?
Yes.
Got it. Very cool.
And so basically we're holding a little bit on that front because I don't want to start promoting everything at the same time. I'd rather have a more condensed approach.
Yeah. When you think about building predictable lead gen, and the reason I ask this is because I was talking to a gentleman earlier this week, and he was saying that his number one lead source is referrals and word of mouth and networking. But he expressed frustrations around that not being super predictable and super consistent. It's the best leads, but it's not super predictable. So for you, what is your thought process around that? And are there any plans in the future for expanding lead generation? And what does that look like?
I totally understand that point of view and I agree with it because it doesn't matter what sort of techniques you use to try to get a referral. There are so many variables.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree. It's not going to be something that you can say, hey, for this month, I'm going to have four more leads that with a probability of closing of 25% or 13%. That doesn't exist. However, when a referral comes, the closing rate is super high.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. To us, referrals are, if you ask me, I'm not saying that it's the biggest source of leads, but it's the biggest source of closing.
Yeah, I completely agree with the fact that they are fantastic leads. There is the highest intent, highest like no trust factor. I'm curious though, are there any future plans for other marketing initiatives?
Yeah, always. But part of what we do at Navigamo is that it's easy to say you lift a rock and you have a digital agency. We're not a digital agency.
Mm,
We, of course, if our clients need digital agency services, we can provide them. We're more of a consultancy and guidance that go with you. We will go to battle with you. If you have your design team, great, let's keep using them. If you have your developer, let's keep using them. If you have your strategists, let's keep using them. We all go into battle together.
mm,
However, something that we do is that we have our own basically innovation lab. And that means we put effort into other projects to know what works and what doesn't work. And this is something that I brought from my years working on SEO is that the only way how you can learn SEO is not just by reading. You have to have multiple sites where you know you can test, you can break stuff, you can do black hat and know how basically Google is going to penalize you. You will find out that little tricks are going to get you in trouble big time and
yeah.
things like that. And that's what we do. So to give you a good example of that is 3 years ago, everybody's, whoa, AI, and you can build a website with AI, but Google is not gonna, not gonna like it and everything. And so we built a website in weeks, which it is a website design platform that everybody was like, that's not business ready, and Google is gonna have problems with it. I wrote an article saying the way that Wix works is gonna have problems with SEO. So what happened is that they modify how they build the websites, and now it works great for SEO. So we build a website on Wix because we needed to test it. Then we say, okay, you know what? All the images are gonna be AI generated, and this is for pets. It's a pet portal. And not only that, but we're gonna start creating content with AI. So basically, 85% of that website was built using AI.
Okay.
Why? Because at that moment, everybody was saying, you cannot do this, you cannot use this platform. Let me test it. You won't be able to create good imagery using AI. Let us test it.
Yeah.
Content written by AI, Google is going to block it. Let me test it. So the result is that the website is generating revenue. We were able to do it with Wix. Google hasn't blocked us. And we learned what is the right process to create quality content using AI.
Very
I'm not
cool.
going to say that it's a magic wand, but at
Yeah.
least we have a way to test what we say.
100%. That makes perfect sense. There's a case study. I'm curious, what does your sales process look like? So once a lead does come in, what are the different steps that they go through for them to become a client?
Our sales cycle is pretty short, believe it or
Okay.
not. The reason being is because most of the time when we get to a conversation, they already know what problems they have, or it's really easy for us to articulate them.
Got it.
And most of the time, the pain is so visible, and most of the time, the budget is already allocated to it.
Got it. Okay. And if it's referrals, it's a high closing percentage, which makes sense. Yeah, it's different from cold traffic. I'm curious, when you think of your vision and where you want to take the company, let's say over the next 12 months, are there any specific revenue targets, performance targets? Walk me through that.
Absolutely. As of today, we launched operations in Colombia a year ago.
Okay.
We have I will say that a healthy pipeline even for the US. When you translate from dollars to pesos, it's a big change.
Yep.
And so basically right now we're building there. In the case of US, we hit the ground running. What I'm hoping to is to actually increase revenue by 3x this year, by the end of this
Okay.
year. And sorry, income. I'm not going to be talking about revenue because as I mentioned, we invested heavily on this AI platform. So
So
of course
increase income by
that
3x.
takes, yeah. And basically this SaaS project, it is what I'm hoping to get out of this project is at least have about 300 paying clients just to
Okay.
start with.
Awesome. That's exciting. I'm curious, when you think of that vision, 300 paying clients, but then also 3xing the income this year, what do you feel like are the biggest challenges you're facing to taking this to the next level?
Funny enough, AI,
In what way?
in the way that everyone that I've been talking to, they're like, I'm too fed up with the amount of spam that I'm getting because everybody's doing everything with AI. I was talking to a sales consultant because I work with them a lot with them. And he was saying, like, you know what? I had to go back to playbooks that I run 2 years ago, 3 years ago, because people, believe it or not, people like to talk to people
Mm,
who will have thought about that. So what happens is that because AI allows you to quote unquote personalize at mass and create better communication, in reality, you can sense that it's AI.
yeah.
You can sense that unless you say, okay, by the way, I am AI assistant and I'm helping to do this, which I will be happy to test that part. I think that as a consumer, because of course I get spam as well, as a consumer of those approaches that are fully automated with I feel, okay, you got a good message, but I don't want to talk to your AI. I may not want to talk to your salesperson. Now I want to talk to your prompt engineer because I'm curious to know what he did and everything else. And
Mhm.
I don't know if I want to do business with you because
Interesting.
you're not even paying attention or time to my account.
Yeah.
So another case of that, and it's pretty often and pretty common, is My company, the original company that I started with, it's in my LinkedIn profile.
Yep.
And I also had a different, like a podcast that I create with a friend just to, for my own mindfulness, which is we just sit down and talk about random stuff. And I started getting emails and, hey, Blas, I'm seeing all the amazing work that you're doing at Blue Advertising. I'm seeing a lot of benefit out of Mass, which is the podcast. And so my question to him is like, really, what actually got you to like got you so impressed? In reality, there is nothing out there. They're just looking at the profile, seeing the companies, and then just, oh, let me create something to grab his attention.
Yeah. Fair
Well,
enough. In terms of a challenge, though, are you saying that it's a challenge for you to stand out with all of this spam? Is that what you mean?
on one way, yes. And the other part is, do we need to bring people back to the equation?
Okay. Okay. I'm just trying to understand how that's a challenge to getting to 3x or to 3xing this year.
Again, the cold approach in some cases work. I think that it works.
100%. Yeah.
But again, what we're doing by automating everything through AI is
I see.
that now I don't know if I want to answer my phone.
I see.
Just leave me a message. I'll figure out if I want to talk to you or not.
Got it. And you feel like
Uh,
prospects feel the same thing.
yes.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Interesting.
And let's put it this way. Someone, of course, because of my title, I get a lot of this, I get approached quite a bit. And they say, is it okay for me to to send you a video of what I think we could do? Why do you need my permission? You're already sending me an email. If you already did your homework, just send me the video. Just stop wasting time. Your time and my time.
Fair enough. I think that's good advice for people because a lot of people are doing that AI personalization nowadays. What is the best way for people to reach out to you?
Definitely LinkedIn. And the best thing is to not pitch right away.
No, I mean,
That's
what's
an
the best way for people to reach out to you if they're
oh,
interested in your services?
got it.
Yeah.
Definitely on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm in LinkedIn, or they can go to navigamo.co.
Got it.
They can find me there. And as you can see, I'm always like the reason why I jump out of my corporate job is because I come from an entrepreneur family and I
Yep.
like to help things happen. And in many cases, I have helped people, different businesses and entrepreneurs just because I feel passion for it.
Yeah. I love it. That's awesome. And when does the AI agent platform come out?
So the name is Nemo, and we're going to start basically a closed test on beta testing on July 1st. I
Cool.
don't know if it's if this episode is going to be out or not. And there's a wait list. So if you go to navigamo.co, you can join the wait list. And let's see, this is
Awesome.
fun because as the reason why we build it is because we believe that AI, it's an amazing tool to help humans do a lot better, not
Mm.
to replace humans.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. Blas, thank you so much for your time today. I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Mark.
Anytime. So that wraps up another insightful episode of Founders Future. To our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out navigamo.co and the beta testing will have already started by the time this episode airs. So make sure to go check that out as well. And if you're a business owner and you're looking to scale your business and really enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to discover how we can support your growth journey. Until then, keep on climbing.